Hello. Welcome to I'm Working Late.
Welcome back.
Episode what? 8?
8? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh
No.
my goch.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
it's
it
episode
is.
8. Wow, guys.
Wow. Nearly at the end of season 1.
Churning them out.
Churning?
Yeah, churning. You never heard that? Churning. If you're churning something out.
Yeah,
like-
I've heard that, but I don't think it has like a positive connotation.
Oh, does it not? Well, I'm going to change the landscape.
Anyway, so today we're going to be doing one that's a little bit of an uncomfortable situation.
It's not the best.
An uncomfortable topic, I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
But before we do that, should we do our little not question of the week?
It's different this time, guys. We thought we'd
Having a bit of fun.
we'd introduce something a little bit different.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a blind react.
Blind rank.
No, we're not. We're not doing a blind react. I'm so stupid.
Blind rank.
Blind ranking. So sorry.
Yeah.
Blind ranking of corporate trends.
Yeah.
Because we love stuff like that. So
Should we go like, shall I give you 5, you give me 5?
let's do it.
And we can recycle them. Like if I ask you one and you won't ask me the same. So I'll give you 5 now.
Okay.
I'm going to say them and then you got to tell me where it goes out of 5.
Okay.
And you can't change, you can't change it.
Okay.
These are all off the top of our heads, by the way. We don't have anything written down.
No, we never really do. I don't know if anyone thinks that we're scripted, but we
we have bullet points for like how the ep will go, but other
it's
than
it's off the cuff. So
it's probably why we say some crazy things, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go on.
First one I'm gonna give you. Coffee. Where are you putting up?
Okay, can I just clarify? Is 1 the best, 5 the worst?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, how do I know? Because you might give me a really good one that I
This is
can't
the
move.
fun of it.
Oh, okay. Coffee.
Where are you putting that?
Well, I want to put that 1. Can I include like matcha and like hot beverages?
Okay,
Other
yeah,
hot
caffeinated
beverages?
hot beverages.
Well, that's definitely a 2 or a 1.
Where are you putting it? You gotta make a
No,
decision.
no, I'm putting it at 2.
You're putting it at
I'm
2.
gonna reserve some space for number 1.
Okay, you're putting it at 2. You're putting it at 2.
Mhm.
Quarter zips.
Well, I don't wear them. As a piece of office wear, 4.
4.
5?
Okay,
4?
that's reasonable
4?
because
I mean, I don't really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Commute.
5. Commute is solid at the bottom of the pile. That is 5.
Okay, you've got 2 more.
I'm passionate about that.
2 more now.
Okay.
You've got spot number 3 and spot number 1.
We've got 2 spots open. Okay.
2 spots open. I was gonna say where I'd put it. Okay. Whoa, this is pressure.
Whoa. That's it.
No. Okay, unscheduled Teams call.
To be fair, I don't really mind them too much. I like to have a chat.
You've got 2 spaces
3?
left.
That's not 1.
Okay. But you don't know what you're gonna get for number 1.
I know, but then what am I supposed to do now?
Someone microwaving fish.
Oh!
And that's your number 1.
No, that's not fair. That was mean from you. Don't even.
When I was like
She's-
buffering, just was plotting on it.
She set me up.
No,
That
you
was
gotta
a
do me.
setup.
You gotta do me.
Well, I was going to be nice, but now I'm reconsidering.
Okay.
Let
Go
me
on.
give you some constructive criticism in the theme of today's episode.
Roll my eyes.
Right, okay, Macy. It's
Yeah.
on. Game on. Right, okay. Okay,
This is fun.
so mine for you then. Okay. Working from home.
3.
Okay.
I regret that instantly. I should have gone higher.
Stanley's.
4.
Okay.
Again, regret that. Should have gone higher.
Standing desks.
2.
Okay. Hot desking.
5. I'd like a desk that I can decorate. That's my only reasoning for that.
I agree with
Like,
that.
I'd like a
yeah.
personal item on my desk.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
this is my last one now. You're gonna give me something horrible.
yeah,
aren't
I was
you?
thinking that, but I don't want to. It just doesn't sit right with me and my personal character.
Okay, whatever.
No, I actually just can't think of one that would be like terrible.
I'm just saying whatever you were gonna say then.
Away day.
One.
See, I'm lovely. Right.
Away day.
Away day.
I've
I've had some good away days.
Yeah. Okay.
She doesn't care.
Anyway, that's a topic for another day. So today, what are we going to be talking about now that the fun's over? Back to business.
Oh, I didn't find that very fun.
I
put me in a
did.
microwave fish environment. That was anything but fun.
Well, you live and you learn. You live.
And on that note, today's episode's all about learning, isn't it?
Yes, today's episode is about constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Which I hate receiving constructive criticism, if I'm honest. And like, you know, when people say, "What's your strength?" and people will say, "Oh, I'm good at taking constructive criticism." In my mind, I feel like I'm filling up with rage. If anyone critiques me, I just feel like, as a human reaction, and I'm going to be vulnerable, and maybe it's not what people want to hear, but as like a human reaction when you are being critiqued, it's like normal to be thinking, ugh.
I appreciate your honesty here.
Do you get that?
Yeah, because a lot of people will say, "Yeah, I'm great at taking it. I'm fine.
I'm
fine,
not.
fine."
I'm not.
And the thing, actually, it's probably shows more vulnerability to say, "No, I don't really like it."
Yeah, I'm not good at taking constructive criticism. I mean, like, I won't act upon how I feel, but like, it's going to annoy me, obviously, hearing that I've done something wrong. But maybe that's not so much the fact of it being constructive criticism, and maybe it's me being disappointed that I didn't do something to the standard that I thought.
I take it more of like, I'm more sad. I'm disappointed with myself rather than like, how dare you, criticize me, because I can be really terrible at things and I understand that. But I think I get upset with myself that I've let myself make a mistake, which then also that ties into one of our previous episodes about imposter syndrome and not feeling good enough, and that's kind of
it can like reaffirm that for you, I guess.
Yeah, so I do kind of feel a bit sometimes disappointed, I think is a good word to use.
Do you have like any sort of memorable moment? I didn't know how to word that then. When you've been given constructive criticism or feedback that you haven't necessarily agreed with?
Not so much feedback I've not agreed with. I've agreed with everything I've ever been criticised for, to be honest. I can't say I've ever been.
Yeah.
Well, in a work setting.
You get what I mean. I think
Actually,
I worded
no,
it wrong.
That's a lie. Anyway, I think in terms of like for a legal task, for example, like drafting, if when I've been given criticism on that, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Like, for example, something could have been a bit more concise, or I didn't explain something maybe as is in much detail as it should have been, and I completely agreed with that.
I think, sorry, this seems a little bit off topic, but you just saying that kind of sparked this thought. I think there's two sides of constructive criticism in a workplace, and one of them is related to work, and one of them is related to a persona, like the person itself. And I think there's different ways that you tackle those, both sort of constructive criticism, because like you said, yeah, I will accept people saying you've done this wrong. Like, you're aware, you're willing to learn, you're open-minded to that. But if someone's like turning around to you and saying, oh, something that you're doing just in your character isn't right, where do you sit with that? Do you let them just say that's not right, you need to change it when it's just you? Like, I remember being critiqued for not talking enough. Believe it or not, I am just an introvert. Like, I'm very vocal around you because I'm comfortable with you, and like, I don't know, I just feel safe.
Safe and supported.
I just feel like I can talk to you and like you get it. Whereas, say, when you start a new job or something, you're expected to be a little bit quieter. And I remember starting a new role and it being brought to my attention that I didn't participate in conversation a lot. And I don't know, that just didn't kind of sit right with me as constructive criticism.
Yeah, and that's when I just going back to what I was sort of just saying just now about actually I disagree. That's what I disagree on.
Yeah.
Is I was thinking in my head, you put it perfectly, but when someone criticizes you as your character or how you are as your personality, that I don't agree with personally, because everyone's different. It's not work related, and I think if you're going to criticize someone on how quiet they are or how loud they are in the team.
If you criticise me for how quiet I am, I'll say, well, maybe you're too loud. No, I won't say that, but because I'm not confrontational. But how would you feel if I turned around to you and was like, well, you're too loud?
It's just not very nice, I don't think.
I don't think it's constructive criticism. I think it's like, it's just being nasty and it's covered up by trying to be constructive and like guide someone into a nicer, I don't know. I guess
sometimes people push authority, I think.
Sometimes it can be done from like a good place, like, oh, go get involved a bit more. You know, it will help your career grow.
Yeah, and I understand that.
But I think you are aware whether it's coming from that place or whether it's coming from a place of just someone like micromanaging you.
Or a toxicity environment.
Yeah, or just like not a good working environment.
Yeah.
But I do think there's definitely two types of constructive criticism. Today we're going to focus mainly on the professional one.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Because I'm scared. I don't want to speak.
We're not going to delve into that. Whatever personal experience you have is whatever personal experience you have.
Personal experience stays between me and Holly.
Yeah,
it doesn't go out.
It doesn't go out onto the podcast.
Yeah, sorry guys. Maybe one day, but for now,
no.
Sorry. So the first point that we've got, and it's a statement, is that feedback doesn't mean that you suck. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Disagree. You suck. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Of course it doesn't.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't mean you suck. And I think, as you said, it ties into imposter syndrome. It can make you think, like, oh, I don't belong to be here. If I'm making these mistakes, like,
but you have to make mistakes to learn. No one is perfect. You have you have to put a foot wrong, because it's weird if you don't.
The person who's probably giving you that constructive feedback has probably been given that exact feedback in their life, and that's why it's so easy for them to give it to you as well and deliver it in such a way.
Yeah.
So what would you say is probably the biggest sort of thing that you need to take on board when you're taking constructive criticism?
I think the first thing you need to do is, again, I've said this before in a previous episode, is like be gentle with yourself. The fact that you are allowed to make mistakes and you will make mistakes. You have to really understand that, because if you're going into taking criticism with, I must be perfect and do everything right all the time, it's going to hurt way more. It's going to sting so much more. Yeah. So you just have to
manage that expectation.
Yeah, manage your expectation of, I will make mistakes. So then when you do get some feedback or some criticism, you can take it on board. So I think that. I also think being receptive to it. Do not shut off. Do not try and be sort of dismissive with it. Absorb it.
Don't be resistant.
Don't be resistant. And I think you should also say, I would explain your reasoning for doing so, as in like what you've done. If you've got criticism on how you've done it, explain why you did it that way first.
I agree with you there, but I do think, again, personal experience, I've been put in that situation where I've explained, and it's backfired on me, with them thinking that it's becoming argumentative and that you're not agreeing with them, and like you're trying to just go against what they're saying.
I understand, as in that's an experience you've had.
Yeah.
But if I was receiving that from someone,
you would want to justify.
I would want to know why it went that way.
Yeah, I agree.
Like why you made that mistake. So in case it was my teaching.
Yeah.
I think.
Or like whoever was training you, like if they told you to do it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. It was something that they didn't know. So
that was just like a comment that I thought.
Yeah, no, it's good to bring
because I do think there might be a lot of juniors who have been in that situation where you've stood up for yourself, not necessarily stood up for yourself, but justified why you've done this one thing, and like they might have had the same sort of reaction where it's like, why are you going against it? Why aren't you just accepting it? And I think there is that fine line between accepting it and allowing people to just walk all over you and try and like mold you into who they think you should be, and then you actually being your own person and doing things your own way. Because I remember when we were on the LPC as well, like this comes to mind, how you mentioned with drafting, we were always told like, oh, don't worry about your drafting style, like you'll find your own. But then you're saying you get feedback on how you draft, and it's like, well, which one is it?
Yeah, yeah, it's tough. I think you just have to adapt to your working environment, the team you're in, and when you take criticism, like we've just said, be receptive, but don't be scared to say why you did something, especially if they ask you.
Yeah.
But obviously put that across in a way that's doesn't
maybe not confrontational.
To preface that.
Yeah, maybe that was a me issue. Maybe my tone wasn't correct when I was justifying why I did something.
But overall, like generally, I think that is fine.
Yeah.
I think I'd appreciate that if I was on the other end.
Bearing in mind, guys, I just want to preface that all experiences are prior and not current.
Yeah.
So if any of you know where either of us work right now, it's nothing to do with that.
No,
guys. It's nothing to do with that.
Just a disclaimer, because we have to make those.
Allegedly, this happened.
Anyway, yeah, so that's what I'd say for that.
Yeah.
I think you've just got to be a sponge, and then obviously you've got to act on the criticism as well going forward.
I also think, like you said, sorry about that. I also think going off what you said, you have to read the room, kind of like, is it worth even trying to justify it for, like, am I staying here to do my training or am I staying here long term? Like, I'm gonna cough again. Sorry, guys.
Do you need a beverage?
Probably, but it's okay. We power through. If you're like at a place where you're thinking, okay, I just need to get my year's experience in, don't build up that tension. But if it's somewhere where you want to stay long term, I think it's necessary to have those conversations. Like, where did I go wrong?
But then I also think even if you're not staying long term, it's good for personal development.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I think there's definitely a scenario where you have to think about what the outcome's going to be.
The criticism is as well. If it's minor,
yeah,
and it's just like you put this in a different spot than it should be. There's no point in being like, the reason I did this is X, Y, and Z, and why have you said this? And like, you know, you just kind of, I think you pick your battles with stuff like this.
I think that's what I was trying to say. Like, pick your battles. Yeah. Because some things you do just have to let it go over your head.
Yeah, you just have to think,
just to stay sane.
Yeah, move on.
Just to stay sane. Just let it go over your head.
And you don't do it again, or if you do, you know, you then try and learn from it that second time or whatever, and how big the mistake is that you make or the criticism.
Yeah.
Also,
I think something you've always said is that, like, feedback is really important to development, and I want to speak about why you think feedback is so influential.
Because it allows you to learn and it allows you to grow. That's my first point. Do you want to stop sassing me? For the audio only, we're not in a cage. This is a loving conversation.
I'm touching her hand as her arm as I'm laughing.
She's giving me some physical touch, which is Macy's main love language. So that's how she expresses love and devotion. Why do I think feedback is so important?
Especially in junior stages.
Come on, it is because you're never going to grow. If you don't get someone telling you, okay, you need to do this maybe differently, or this wasn't right, you're never going to learn, you're never going to grow, and you're never going to evolve, and you're never going to become a good lawyer. Because you're just going to be stuck in what you know, and then you're not going to be able to do anything differently. If I was doing things the same way I was doing them 6 months ago, I wouldn't be I've come on as much in terms of growth in my career as I have done.
Are you grateful for the feedback that you've got? Like, where do you think, if you weren't to have gotten feedback in this year that you've been training, what sort of state, where do you reckon you'd be? Like, what sort of lawyer do you reckon you'd be?
I think I've always been quite organised, but I think I'd be slightly less organised. Like, my project management has come on a lot since working in a corporate team. Being able to manage different matters at the same time, I think that I've grown like so much and developed so much in that skill. I think my attention to detail perhaps wouldn't be as good as it is now. I mean, it still needs work. I think everyone's attention to detail will always need work.
Yeah.
That's just something that will always be a point of criticism for a lot of people. But
I think that also, like, attention to detail, I feel like depends on so many external factors. Like, you could be extremely tired, and
this is the thing.
Sorry, my wrist's hurting, and your attention to detail can be like decreased because of that.
Yeah.
Or you can subconsciously have something else on your mind.
I've always struggled a bit with attention to detail at times because, like you say, it's dependent on a lot of external factors.
Yeah.
And as someone who sometimes is quite tired or
has
do a lot, eyesight issues or whatever,
or like a migraine, that can impact you.
It can be really difficult. So I think that's why you have to try and carve out enough time for tasks to make sure you are looking over them.
Yeah.
And checking them. And that's one thing that I think I've grown with as well, is like allowing myself to have more focus time. It's still something I'm really working on.
Yeah.
Actively. But
so do you think constructive criticism is something that will be career long? It's not just junior phases. I agree.
I think so.
So on that note of it being career long and like it's something that you're always going to face, what would be your sort of top tips to handling it without an emotional response, and maybe not taking it personally and not being emotionally reactive to it? Because someone can say something to you and you can get really upset over it because, I don't know, maybe it can hit an insecurity that you have within yourself and it's kind of like triggered that. So what would you say is a good way to navigate the emotional response side of constructive criticism?
Know that it's not an attack on your character.
Yeah.
It is not a personal attack.
Even though it seems like it.
Yeah, they're not coming for you at all. Most of the time it will come from a place of management and development actually wanting to see you grow and do well.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good point, is knowing that it's not a personal attack. Also think about the longevity of it and the long-term outcome where receiving this kind of feedback is going to get you to. I always look at it as almost as a positive, because like, right, wow, they've been able to identify to me where I've gone wrong. How brilliant that I can now work on that and show them that I'm going to do better next time, and that in the long run that's going to make me a better lawyer.
It increases your adaptability skills, you know. That's it.
That's Macy's 2 pence. Adaptable.
Mic drop.
But yeah, I just think you've just got to look at it.
I think maybe look at it as if it was coming from like a friend or family. You know, that
they won't
the best interest is at heart. So
a lot of the time, if you've got a good relationship with your line manager, it always should be best interest.
But also be able to identify when it is coming from a place of like hostility, or maybe someone doesn't like you.
Workplace bullying.
Workplace bullying, yeah.
Like, you don't want to be picked on.
We're not going to say, guys, just sit there and like accept every criticism someone says to you. If something doesn't like sit right and you're thinking, oh, I don't think this is normal criticism on my work,
you'll know if it's valid.
You will know if it's valid. I agree. And I also think with constructive criticism, you know yourself before they speak to you that you've done something.
I know what you mean, because with
you think that was my best work.
Yes, going back to like when I've had criticism for drafting or attention to detail. I know the day that I did that, I was really tired, so I thought, well, maybe is that really going to be a piece of work that's got no red line in it? I don't think so. Like
whole page is red.
Absolutely. Except track. Oh god, that was funny. That was a good one. Oh, but yeah, that's my main point for that.
Okay. Okay, moving on then. And it segues quite nice. We've adopted this phrase in the past like few episodes. We're gonna segue now. So it links quite nicely. The next section, we're speaking about messing up at work. Now what? How do you handle mistakes gracefully? And my number one top tip for this is, regardless of how scared you are, tell your manager.
Yeah.
Tell someone that you've made that mistake, because
own up to it.
You would rather you be the one telling them than for it to come out of the woodwork and them to be like, whoa, this has gone wrong. Who's to blame?
Also think about the impact that it could have if you don't tell someone. Exactly, like that can escalate.
Like I immediately tell someone.
It can be the reason for a way bigger issue.
Yeah.
So you have to say, and that comes back to what we've mentioned before, as in having a safe space to make mistakes, and that's dependent on your team and your environment and your firm.
Yeah.
But even if you don't feel, if it's unfortunate, but even if you aren't feel that you're in a firm that are very supportive, you're still going to have to say, I've done that wrong.
And it's okay.
It's absolutely fine.
You're not going to be the first person to make a mistake, and you're not going to be the last person to make a mistake either.
No.
And as you progress in your career, you will probably be the one telling people they've made a mistake. I mean, have you been in that situation?
I've never, not obviously, because
maybe not mistakes.
I'm in my training. I've given feedback to like work experience or VAC schemas.
How was that? How did you kind of deal with giving that feedback? Because it's probably good to see it from the flip side.
Yeah, I think I only give it when it's in terms of like criticism. I love giving positive feedback. That's great. That's easy.
Yeah.
But criticism is harder. So I only would really give it if it's something that's really noticeable from what they've been asked to do. And that it's valid. I wouldn't just pluck it out of the air for no reason.
Yeah.
Because of course that can impact.
Just to be like awkward.
Yeah, because that especially if they're on a VAC scheme, that can really impact then their that could impact a TC offer, or obviously.
But are you too much of an empath in that sense? Should you be picking out that little criticism? Is this something that we should be detecting, or no?
You know what? I don't think I am.
Who is the authority on constructive criticism? We need to talk to them.
What if you really like? I think you have to take the emotional side out of it. Like, even if you really get on with someone, but they've done something wrong, you're gonna have to say, So I always just go for something that is valid. If it's staring me in the face and it needs to be addressed, or it needs to, maybe shouldn't have done it that way, I will just say, next time I would have done this slightly differently. Or
yeah, I mean, not to get like personal. I mean, it's not really personal, but like in our lives, we'll always speak up for what's right. I think that anyway. If we see something and we don't think it's right, we'll always speak up and advocate for what's right. And I think that's the same when it comes to constructive criticism. It's just in a different setting. Like, that in your personal life, you would advocate and say to someone, you can't do that. That's XYZ. That's not nice. That's not how you treat someone, or whatever. So in a professional setting, you've got to be able to keep that same mindset and be able to turn around and say, oh, look, that wasn't actually right.
That's not how
you can't do that.
Yeah.
Or
I agree.
It's going to have this impact. So I think it probably comes easier to someone who is like that in their personal life, who will speak up. But I know a lot of people don't speak. Me. No, I know a lot of people like don't
podcast.
Trying to act mysterious and nonchalant. Professional yapper. That's what I used to get called, a professional yapper, by someone. And I was like, yeah, it's so true. It's so true, because before I was just a yapper around people I was comfortable with, and then this one person said professional yapper, and I was like, you know what? That's so true.
How fitting.
But no, I do think, like, I'm obviously someone, if I see something that's going on, like, I remember driving past a high school and these kids were throwing water over this other kid, and I didn't even know if they were friends or not. And I like stopped in my car and spoke to this kid, and I was like, are you okay? Like, I must have looked like a freak pulling up beside this kid. And I was like, are you okay? Like, I just saw what was going on. And he was like, they do it to me all the time, like, they're bullying me. And I gave him a pep talk, and I was like, they will, like, you'll do better than them in life, like, if you just remain a great person, like, it will come back on them, blah blah. And because I think I'm like that in my personal life, it's then easier to speak out and advocate for what's right in a workplace as well. I don't know. Does that make sense?
I understand what you're saying. I think, yeah, I get what you mean.
But obviously not everyone's the type of person that would do something like that, because they're just not.
Yeah. They might not
want to. Yeah, they might not want to be involved. And I think in the workplace that translates.
Yeah.
And they might not want to say to someone, oh, you've done this wrong.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to.
Do you think, given the constructive criticism,
guys, I'm a little bit uncomfortable today.
It's the jeans.
It's the denim. It's the denim.
Do you think
you're cute jeans?
Stop. This is a professional work setting.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Do you think
Kardashian is a professional?
Huh?
Kardashian Empire is professional.
She was the one that said that.
Yeah. What was it? Her or Chloe?
I've never understood.
You're cute jeans.
Whoa. I tweaked then. I've never understood the reference.
I don't know.
I don't know what it means.
Like,
she went, you're cute. And she went,
you're cute jeans. I don't know. I think they say a lot of stuff sometimes. Oops.
Whoopsie. What I was going to say was, do you think it's harder to be the person giving the feedback or the person having the feedback given to them?
It's harder to give than receive.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I would rather receive feedback than give it. Like, it's hard. It's hard to give that. You feel horrible. Are you alright?
Sorry, guys.
Something's tickled Macy.
Since I pulled up at the
function.
Ever since I pulled up today, I just kept laughing, like, Holly was at her desk, and I was just, like, giggling to myself in the background, and I don't even know why. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry, guys.
Funny.
No, I agree, it's probably harder to be
You could be the one. I'm just going to sing to fill in the void. I would really recommend watching this episode if you're listening to it. I really think you should go and watch it on the big screen because it's actually hilarious to watch.
There's tears in both of us.
It's just silence.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
Okay, come on, compose. Next part of the episode is what?
Sorry, guys. Sometimes these things happen. Sometimes the professionals that you watch aren't professional.
That's our constructive
We're real people.
Yeah,
we're real people, guys.
We're human. This is a side job.
We're all humans. Okay. Top tips. Top tips for constructive.
They're gonna turn off in a minute. They're gonna get so annoyed. Okay, top tips for constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Okay, I think
taking it.
Yes.
Not giving it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Taking it.
Yeah.
Wait. Feedback. God, I'm having a moment. Tips for taking constructive criticism. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Tips for taking it. Yeah. Okay. I think be open to receiving it. Take it on board like a champ. Okay. You've just got to take it. You've just got to take it like a champ.
I've never heard Holly say that in her life. Take it like a champ. Sorry, that's something I'd say, not Holly. Like, I've never heard you say that. But I agree. Take it like a champ.
Yeah,
champ it.
Okay.
2. Let's do 3.
Okay. Do you want to do 2?
Okay.
No.
No. I can't form a sentence right now. Okay. What was yours? Stay responsive to it.
Yeah, like,
and take it like a champ.
Take it in.
I think the second one would be think about where it's coming from, who it's coming from. Because I think you can get constructive criticism from someone who's in the exact same role as you, been there the exact same amount of time, and it's like, guys,
yeah,
how, who's doing it right when we've both been here the same amount of time? I think really assess where it's coming from before you get upset about it.
Yeah,
is my sort of thing.
Okay. And I think act on it.
Act on it
is your biggest one. After that is showing them or whoever, or just even yourself.
I'm so glad you've remained professional on this one. I'm feeling like the personality high right now.
Oh my god, I've got no personality to give at all.
Full profession.
Yeah.
I'm personality.
So, yeah, act on it. Please act on it. And then that's all you need to do.
Act on it, and like a bonus one, maybe make a plan with whoever's...
a bonus tip.
Whoever's given you the feedback.
The BT.
Whoever's given you the feedback. Stop.
I'm trying to throw her off now, guys. I'm doing it purposefully.
Guys, she's a saboteur.
Saboteur. Did you watch Trapped?
Yeah, I did. You're
trapped. She had such yellow tea.
Okay, anyway. The bonus tip is maybe make a plan with whoever's giving you the feedback on how to tackle what. So say if you did a specific task wrong, make a plan with whoever's giving you the feedback.
I'm just thinking about if you did something wrong, like numbered something differently. Let's plan how to do this. Number it better next time.
No, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like
it's from a bigger
maybe
task,
okay. Say it's like a research project.
Yeah. How
speak to them. How did you do it? How should I do it next time?
Yeah.
Agreed. And on that note,
guys,
I think it's time we wrapped up.
Yeah. Because hope you enjoyed this one because we did.
Yeah. And I just want to say that we're both still in the junior stages of our career. So any advice on like constructive criticism coming from us isn't the most authoritative, set in stone. We're still learning about it ourselves.
I actually kind of disagree. I think the fact that...
she disagrees. Okay, we're no longer friends. I'm joking.
I think the fact that we're in a period of time where we're going to get high amounts of criticism because we're learning.
Yeah.
So I think we're quite... I don't know, we're in a good position to be able to talk about how to receive it.
Yeah, I think just by that statement that I made was we're still in the junior stages of receiving criticism. Like, what, we've only been receiving it for a year, let's say. So the way we react to it now could be very different to how we react to it in 4 years. Like, we could be reacting very emotionally, like me saying us saying justify it. It might not be the best route of action.
This is from our experience. As we always say, and we always disclaim, we're talking from experience as learning.
It's just something to speak
in the
about.
junior sector. It's just a talking point and how we can move forward. Anyway,
let's wrap this episode up because I don't think I can hold it together any longer. I don't know what's came over me this episode.
She's got the giggles.
I've got the giggles, which I'm only human.
But yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Audio. We apologise.
Please watch this one.
Visual. Thank you.
It will be on YouTube. Yeah, visual.
YouTube,
you get
Spotify, LinkedIn. It's everywhere. So yeah. Thanks so much, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.